This is pathetic.
Seems like
point?
my
Listen, let me tell you what I'll do. Let me tell you what I'll do about it. I will let us sit down and look at the decisions we've made over the last several years. Okay? I'll look at it. Now, if you think I'm interested on a damn phone call with you over a radio and sitting here and throwing all the good out with the dishwater, you have got to be smoking something over there this morning. I'm not. And I really don't, and I don't even want our listeners to listen to me, to talk about this is not your job. Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something and I'm sorry that I did it. That's not your job.
Well, my job is to ask why.
A job, or I'll get somebody else to ask these questions.
Let's pause here. That is beleaguered Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones hopping on 105.3 The Fan in his home state of Texas. He is peeved having to answer questions and some warranted criticisms of the lack of moves, significant moves made in the offseason by the hosts at this radio station. Of course, this comes after a 47-9 drubbing at home to the Detroit Lions. He was on with Shannon and RJ, these dudes right here. And here is more from what can be called a testy interview.
Jerry, we're trying to figure out why the team is.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. You're not going to figure out what the team is doing right or wrong. If you are, or any 5 or 10 like you, you need to come to this meeting I'm going to today. There are 32 teams here. You're geniuses.
Jerry,
okay? Y'all really think you're going to sit here with a microphone and tell me all of the things that I've done wrong and without going over the rights?
Let's pause once more. Jerry. Your team is 3-3. Okay? You have looked mediocre. You're coming off a game when Ben Johnson diced up your secondary like a tomato. All right? You look bad. Your team looked bad. You have lost 4 straight at home. What is supposed to be, this glorified home field advantage. It's not. It was the worst home loss in 36 years. And per the AP, the 167 points allowed by the boys are the 3rd most in a 4-game home stretch in NFL history. But you want these dudes to focus on the positives when you have shown historic negatives? Here's more.
Now, listen, we both know we're talking to a lot of great fans and a lot of great listeners. And I am very sorry for what happened out there Sunday. I'm sick about what happened. And we can spend a lot of time going over zigging and zagging. One of the stupidest things I've ever done that anybody has ever analyzed is by the Cowboys. It was an idiot that did that. So idiot things can turn into good decisions. Okay? Smart things can turn into bad decisions. The facts are that when you make one, you don't really know whether it's going to be good or not at the time. So let's just go ahead. I'm trying to answer your questions, man. You want some conversation this morning? You're getting it.
There is so much here, so much. But I'll let ESPN's Shannon Sharpe have what can only be deemed as well rightful criticism.
I hate, I detest, I despise someone that will prey on the weak. And because Jerry Jones is in an advantageous situation, because he has the power in this situation, he would actually say that publicly. That tells me a lot about a man. That'll tell me a lot about a man that has power and would abuse that power to tell that man, I will get somebody in here to ask me favorable questions. That is absolutely that guy's job.
Let's pause here. 1,000% on the money. And as legendary Chicago sports anchor Mark Giangreco wrote beneath the Jones video, yes, it is his job. Who does Jerry sound like? One Twitter user named Joel Barber would have an answer. Just an old man who can't admit his mistakes. He is a bully. Plain and simple. He did nothing in the offseason, nothing in the draft, signed a mediocre stat-padding quarterback who can't win a big game to the biggest farce contract in football. He's got egg all over his face. Greco would give the comment a simple thumbs up. More from Shannon Sharpe, an NFL Hall of Famer.
What do you think his job was? See, Jerry wants all the credit when things go well, but none of the blame. He told us how many times, the buck stopped with me. Any deal that's ever happened, I either signed off on it or I got notified of it. Now you getting trounced, and I don't take this lightly. If the Cowboys don't win another playoff game or another game, as long as Jerry Jones is the owner, I'll be the happiest man in the world. For that man to put that man in fear for his job, and for Jerry to say this publicly and say, I'm not laughing, I'm not joking, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
To be very clear, by the way, Shan Sheriff, co-host of the show that Jones attacked, would tweet, "Is this real life? I wish Jerry Jones paid me." He insults us again, and we've had back and forth over way bigger things in our 14 years. I truly don't understand what the hell is going on. Well, another living legend would try to put it all in perspective. That living legend in the media space, Dan Patrick.
I mean, I applaud the host if you're asking questions. That's what your job is. Instead, like Jerry just threatened their jobs because they were doing their jobs. Like, how dare you question me? I don't think they're questioning maybe the totality of your ownership. They're talking about the offseason when you told everybody you were all in. They did a terrible job in the offseason. They weren't all in. And they waited. They procrastinated on a couple of those big deals, and they probably could have gotten Derrick Henry. Or why don't you just submit questions to them, Jerry, if that's how you want it to be? They're asking the questions that Cowboy fans have.
I just don't want to gloss over what Jones said because I feel it is very important as we see major conglomerates like Sinclair and others buy up local stations. They're buying up local newspapers, and they are letting them run dry to the point that there is no more. What we have seen is the billionaire take on the little guy from the insert town name Free Press or insert town name Tribune. And in that, we have also seen local sports radio stations have their rosters dwindled, where now they just, whether it's CBS, ESPN, what have you, they just air national stuff, not only when it comes to overnight, not only when it comes to some evenings, depending on the station, but also on weekends. They have a flagship show that airs network-wide all throughout the country. So my read on Jerry saying this is that it is a detriment to the sports media landscape because we've already seen this. He does have the power. Money talks. I mean, they've ran the same play over and over and over again. And you know who suffers? People who really know what the F they're talking about. And the consumer. Because whether a listener will agree or disagree with a radio host, what you will have is a kinship and a deep understanding of, in this case, the Cowboys or the Bulls or the Yankees, yada, yada. And when that is taken away, what you have is more people flocking to podcasts and to YouTube shows and to various other networks in order to get their fill. And when Jerry wields this magical $1 billion plus wand, it should be taken seriously. This isn't something that should be thrown around lightly. If he said it, I believe he meant it. We have seen how egotistical some of the most powerful people in the world can be. We have also seen how they have profited from some of the worst disasters in the country. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, check it out on demand. But what I see here is a man who does not like being questioned. And we've seen over and over again that many of these folks will go to what can only be called cozy interviews, cozy networks, where they know they will not be questioned on this stuff. And yes, Shan is right that sometimes they will have these back and forths over the years. When was the last time that he called for the guy's job and said, I will replace you? I personally would like to know because I hadn't seen anything yet. That is Like, that is a dangerous game to play. And with all the reasons I just laid out, it's one that I really don't like, and you shouldn't either. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.